Yeah, welcome to another segment of sharing my thoughts. My name is OTAH DESMOND, and today I want to talk about coping with fertility issues. I think I'm going to draw experience. I have some experience in it, and don't want to get experience with this kind of thing fully. But I want to share my thoughts on what I did while I was coping with fertility issues. You know, globally, 1 out of every 10 couples battle with fertility issues. And I think I was one of those that made that statistics. And you know that in Africa, men are always fond of, there's this thing, we always think, say, that the woman I get the problem, not be us. You know, but we should understand that as the woman define the pikin, we too define the pikin. As the woman wants the pikin, we too, we need it. You know, so we should know that it's not only us that need the child, the woman equally needs to be fruitful. She equally needs that child that you crave for. But one thing I'm going to say is that we should need to stay strong. We need to stay hopeful. We need to change our mentality. You know, this kind of thing where you need to just hope against hope. Just have that mental shift. Like for me, one thing I did was that it's not easy. It's not easy when someone tells you, stay mentally strong. It's not easy. It's deeper. You just have to dig deep into your strength and pull from that reservoir. Easy. I faced serious challenge as regards this, but we just have to change our mentality. What I did, one of the things I did then was I just asked myself, all the people who get children, not all of them they happy. There are people that have children and they're not happy, and there are people that don't have children and they're very, very happy. Now what's the difference? Now what I just thought about was that I think they changed their mentality. If God give you pikin, fine. If God never give you pikin, not me say no will give you. You know, the Bible said something, God talking through using the Bible, he said, the thoughts I have for you are of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. I know they preach for you, Sha, but the thing is that we just have to change how we think. We just have to hope against hope. I know at times we feel bad, you know, when you have a friend that got married last year. You've been married for like 3-4 years. And then the friend is inviting you for child education this year. You feel so bad. Now, it's not you're feeling bad with your friend, but you're just feeling bad about your situation. Has that your pikin has that your friend don't born? You just feel bad, say, you still day here, and person we married last year don't born. You feel bad about it. You don't want to go for that child education. It's not that you're not happy with your friend, but you're not just happy with your situation. But let me say something. If your friend not invite you, if your friend did not invite you for that child education, you feel bad about it. For your friend to have invited you, which means the person want to still be your friend. The person regard you. That's why the person invite you. So with this, at times we won't just isolate ourselves. We don't want to communicate with people. We don't want to go on social media. We don't want to go on Twitter. Yes, it happened. You just want to, make I not talk. May not be say that they see my openness, that they see people know what I'm going through. But the truth is, at times you need to just communicate with people for them so that they will understand how you feel. They will understand what you're going through. Which takes me to number 2 point. Let's communicate with people. Let's communicate with our loved ones. Fine, I know at times when we communicate with some of our friends, for every 12 there's a Judas. There's this friend of yours that will just want to pass an insult. Let's say you want to carry their pikin, you won't carry their pikin, or just you say, I beg, drop her. You know, say you never born, so you're not going to understand which person they go through. They've passed an insult. But the truth is, for every 12, there's always a Judas. So you can have like 10 friends, there must be 1 or 2 that will pass that kind of insult. But that does not mean, say because of that one, we will come fence everybody out. We shouldn't do that. So when we communicate with people, they can tell us what they did. They help as a support group. They will tell you what they don't do. There was one of my friend or my sister. She saw so doctor. She saw, let me share this. There's a friend of mine. I have this group of friends. They want to discuss with you. They won't tell you. They won't ask you questions about, your fertility issues. But they don't know how to go about it. It's a very, very sensitive issue. So people they careful when they want to raise this topic up. But this is my guy. I know he wants to talk something. He wants to say something as regards that. But maybe he has not been bold enough to do that. So this particular day, he told me, he said, Desmond, there's something I want to discuss with you. So I said, what's that? He said, you've been married for like 4 or 5 years now and you don't have a child. Are you not bothered? I smiled. I thanked him. I told him that for him to have raised up this topic, I know it's not easy on his own part, because there are some of our friends, they want to raise the topic, but they don't know how they want to pull them out. They don't know how they want to discuss it with you. They don't know whether if they discuss it with you, whether you feel insulted or slighted or stuff like that. Because there are some people too, maybe they must have discussed with some people and they felt slighted. They said, okay, fine, let me not just discuss this with this person. So Joseph discussed with me and he asked me how far, what's the issue, what's going on. Fine, I was looking at it that he's a friend, so I had to discuss with him. I was saying, Joseph, this is what we've done, and the doctors have seen everything is fine. But one thing I want us to know is that we should always know that when our friends discuss it with us, we should know that they are doing that out of care, out of concern. And nobody knows where the help is going to come from. Your friend can recommend something that's going to help you. At times too, many a time, your friends serve as a support group. When they empathize with you and, okay, fine, why don't you try this? Like for Joseph, he even told me, Desmond, why don't you go see, okay, let me recommend another doctor for you. This takes me to number 3 point. Seeing a doctor is good. But seeing a doctor with a good track record is important. Doctor will get good track record is important. For me, I jam I think like 2 doctors, and the thing is, like, one of them, this one is very, very special. Why I say special? See, the guy was just dagoing me, he was just duping me. I went to his hospital for a test. Somebody recommended me to that place. I went there, and then he said we need to run a test. I ran the test and everything. Later, he said that I have low sperm count. Now, I was expecting him to print out my results, but he said no, he was looking at it from the system. I said, okay, fine, if it's low sperm count, no problem. He said, well, I need to start taking booster to boost my sperm count. No problem. And for like 1-2 months, the nurse was always injecting me with booster. Now, one time, the nurse told me that, Mr. Desmond, please, give me her number. I said, please, can I call her later in the evening? I said, okay, there's something we need to discuss. So later in the evening, I called her and she said that, Mr. Desmond, sorry, I don't know, I can't just live with this anymore. I've been having so much guilt in my heart. I'm like, no, so what's the problem? She said that there is nothing wrong with myself and my spouse. I was shocked. I'm like, nurse? She said yes. I wanted to get angry, but I just understood that this nurse is telling me this, on moral grounds, so I have to behave myself. So I now asked her, I said, nurse, what have you been injecting us with? She said she has been injecting me with multivitamins. Multivitamins? She now said, if I doubt what she's saying, I can go to another lab, another hospital, and run another test. Which takes us to number 4. Please, let's not be shy to run a test. Let's not be shy to go to that lab, to go to that hospital, to just tell them, please, I want to check myself health-wise, if there's anything wrong with me. I think for men, women don't really have problem here. Men really, we guys, we always be shy, we always feel, this kind of thing where you go to the lab or go to the hospital and the person attending to you is of opposite sex. And then later, the lab attendant gives you a test tube and say, okay, you need to put your sperm in here. You just feel this shyness, you feel this. So we guys, we are always shy. Please, guys, when it's time to run the test, please don't be shy. Make we not be shy to run the test. I think the test can shed light into what's really wrong with us. For me, after running the test, it confirmed what the woman was saying. There was nothing wrong with myself nor my spouse. Everything was fine. But let's not forget, please, to run the test. I am begging, guys, because it's key. So for what I've shared, the thoughts I've shared, let's stay strong, let's stay hopeful, let's change our mindset. It helps us like a building block to other things that we're going to do. Secondly, let's try as much as possible to communicate with your friends, your loved ones. They can proffer solutions. They can tell you what they have done. They can tell you who they've met. For every friend, I know there's always a Judas, but we have to just accommodate them. Let's see a fertility doctor with a good track record. This is key. The track record is key. You can, with the good track record, at least we'll know that we are we are seeing the right doctor. Number 4, I would say, let's not be shy to run the test. The 5th thing I did was getting a girl child. I discussed this with my spouse that I could take care of. You know, there are a lot of children out there that are suffering. I got this girl that, this girl made me a father before I became a father. She gave me that, she took me through the school of fatherhood. Now, for couples, I would say you need to discuss this with your spouse. If you want to just get a child to train, fine. If you want to adopt, go through the process of adopting, you can adopt. But let's have, this is what I did, let's have somebody we can, have as our own responsibility to make sure that child goes to school, to make sure that child is okay. It will help us have a kind of sense of fulfillment. For me, I would say this child was like a blessing. I don't say it was like a blessing, it was a blessing to my household. And finally, I would say, let's not forget to pray. If life has been difficult for us standing, let's not forget to go on our knees praying. Prayer, it's key. My name is Dr. Desmond. I just shared my thoughts on how we can cope with fertility issues. If you've gone through this challenge and you defeated it, please share your thoughts with us. You can drop it always every time on the comment section below. We are going to learn from you, and you don't know who you're going to help. And if you've liked this video, please don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.